Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on 5 Minutes With. Today, I have the privilege of talking with my good friend, Sarah Martel of Brightview Senior Living in Danvers. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm terrific. And you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much.
Nice. Good. Thanks for coming on. Why don't you spend a few minutes telling us about your community?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. Again, thanks so much for having me on today and having the opportunity just to chat a little bit about our community. We are located in Danvers on Endicott Street. So I tell everybody we're right over by Market Basket and BJ's. It's kind of our landmark. We've been here for 11 and a half years. This will be our 12th year in this location. We offer 3 distinct levels of care. So we have independent living for stress-free living with services in the community.
Mm-hmm.
We have independent living for folks who need a little bit more day-to-day support. And then we also have our Wellspring Village for memory care. So we have 165 apartments located here. We're one of 8 communities in Massachusetts. Sorry, one of 7 communities in Massachusetts. Our 8th one's in Rhode Island.
Okay.
I always say 8, and I'm like, no.
Right.
I know you've spoken with some of my colleagues before. So our community here really is able to help residents of all different levels of care needs. You know, a big part of moving to senior living is looking at the social ability, being able to get out and not having the worry of the home, but yet still being independent. Brightview really wants to let folks know that we're not here to do for you. We're here to support you on a day-to-day and help you with housekeeping services, help you with meals, help you with transportation if maybe you're not driving anymore. There's all different reasons why folks are moving to our communities, and we really want to take a step back and understand each individual need. This is a very individualized need for people.
Right.
Your need is going to might be different than Bob who lives down the hall. So it's a learning process. As I sit down with families and residents, I want to know your story. We really got to start with the story, and I'm sure you see that when you're talking to some of your families as well, and understanding what the barriers are perhaps to move in, what people say and what they really mean sometimes aren't the same. So if we can understand where they're coming from, really helps to move the process along a little bit, because it's a scary transition for a lot of folks, and we want to try to make it less scary for them. You've been in your house for 60 years and now you're living in an apartment with other people. How can we help you with that? And that's where that story really comes into play, and knowing that we're not here to take over for you. We're just here to help and support you on a day-to-day. Our community is pretty unique to some of the other communities in this area because more than half of our community has independent living apartment homes. So full kitchens, washer dryers, residents can still bring their car and drive if they'd like to. There's no restrictions when it comes to that. It's very appealing to folks who just don't want to worry about the leaky roof anymore.
Right. Right.
You know, and then we have the remaining portion of our community is assisted living and memory care. Our memory care is also unique because we have only 25 apartments. It's a smaller neighborhood, and it's just located on the first floor. So it has its own private outdoor courtyard space, which is really appealing to a lot of families, that they know their loved one can just step outside whenever they would like to. Own Wellspring Village is our memory care neighborhood. They have their own calendar of activities and their own activities department. Department's probably not the right word, but their own activity team, the Vibrant Living team. But they are able to socially engage with all of our residents in the community as well, which is great for both sides. It's really nice when we're able to see our residents from independent living and assisted living engaging with our residents from our memory care neighborhood, because they really enjoy and help each other out. And a lot of times they know them because they've transitioned from other levels of care into memory care.
Right.
And then we have in our assisted living, we have nursing on site from 7:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. And then we have our care staff here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you're looking at when you're looking at assisted living and memory care, you're really looking at the care staff, which is really important to us. Who you're hiring, who you're bringing in, doing great, background checks, but also looking for that personality too. They might be able to be a really great caregiver, but we really want to be able to see their personality come through. And again, in that scary time of making a transition, knowing that they're there to help a resident move in. That first day, if you have a caregiver who can just really make somebody feel welcome, goes so far. It just really goes far.
Right.
We
Yeah,
really want to focus on our associates that are working in our community as well, and just help them with that transition when somebody needs to come in and just say hi with a smile.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, people can hear you smile through the phone. Well, they definitely see a smile in front of you. It makes a big impact. So
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Sarah. What I really take away from this conversation is that in your building, everybody mixes together and everybody helps everybody else out, and it's a really wonderful feeling, and I bet it's a wonderful feeling in a real community type setting.
It really is nice, because I got to tell you, folks get nervous sometimes of having to make that transition from one level of care to the other, or, oh, I need to move apartments or something along those lines. And a lot of times residents are just so happy that their friend is getting the help and the support they need.
Right.
It really comes down to, oh, they're getting what they need, and oh, I can still have dinner with them. And they're there to support each other. We've done open houses in our Wellspring Village for our residents and other levels of care to come in and meet. It's probably been one of our most popular events that we do.
Yeah.
Wants to see what's going on and how can we help and what's this about. It's really about educating the residents too about what we do here, because sometimes they don't know. If you're moving into independent living, maybe you just don't know what happens over in assisted living, and now it's educating them. And all of our activities and programs are just for everybody. So it really is a community feel.
That's great. Sarah, how would, if someone wants information or take a tour, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can call the community directly at 978-750-6111, and they can give me a ring and I'll be happy to show them around. We have model apartments set up in all 3 levels of care. So I'll be happy to show them around, and they can learn the vibrant lifestyle of Brightview Senior Living.
That's awesome. Sarah Martel of Brightview Senior Living in Danvers, thank you so much for coming on today.
No problem. Thanks so much, John.